And so I'm starting with just a pork chop that I'm gonna dice up. Of course, we got the ones with the bones in them. There we go. That side. Okay. There we go. So, the bones out. These go in the freezer. They make great stock for when you make soup. That'll be next week. And I'm just gonna chop this up and toss it in the food processor because the food processor is gonna get it into tiny bits. I'm gonna put in some sage, a couple of leaves of that, and I have some fresh oregano that I'm gonna use probably like that much of, not much, just a few little leaves of that. And some rosemary. Not too much so that it doesn't taste like the pine tree that you have probably still in your house from Christmas. And I'm going to use some thyme as well. And that is just a little bit. And just get it off that stem thing. Like probably that much. And then I'm going to use some chives because I like the oniony flavor, but I don't want to put onions in that. And all I'm going to do, I just like using scissors, is I'm putting that in with the pork in the food processor. About like that much. And then the thyme is little, so that can just go in. And then just keep snipping. Dice that up. I have bacon in the oven right now because I don't like cooking bacon on the stove because I hate getting splattered. I don't think cooking should be painful, so I don't do bacon there. And then we need some garlic. Sure we do. Oh my gosh, way back there. And probably just a little bit of like, I mean, we're only going to make probably 3 patties with this, so just a little bit of garlic, not much, just dunk it right in there. Then we need some salt and some pepper. Not black pepper, we'll use red pepper. There we go. There. Okay. And then we're going to pulse that. Sure we are. A couple of times. we go. So it should look like that, little chunkies. And then I'm just gonna take these out and make little patties. I guess we'll get like maybe 4. Little sausage rounds. I'm making extra because as soon as we start cooking, my mom has an apartment right next door and she's gonna smell this. And I believe that she will come out and go, "What is that? May I have some?" Can I have a sample? So there's my sausage patties. Just like that. Okay, so a little bit of olive oil in the bottom because we don't have a lot of fat in these pork chops. And we'll just wait for that to get hot. It won't take long. That should do it. Oh yeah. And we're going to leave those alone and let them get a crust on the bottom and get nice and browned. And then we'll flip them once. But this is my favorite tool. I feel like I'm on Romper Room. Now we're ready to start for the omelet, but I hate really omelets because I'm not good at it. So instead of doing an omelet, I'm just going to scramble it all together. So what I have is, I have some onion, and I'm just gonna do a quick chop of the onion. And I love onion, so this is probably a lot, because we're only gonna use like 4 or 5 eggs, depending upon how much I end up in the pan. And again, with the olive oil. And the onion goes in, and we'll let that get translucent. While that's doing its thing, I've got a leftover red bell pepper. So I'm just gonna dice up some of that and put in there too. I don't particularly care for that white stuff. The membrane or whatever they call it. And I like red bell pepper better than I like green bell pepper. I think it's just milder and sweeter. So you could use green bell pepper. You can use purple bell pepper or purple bell pepper. That's a pretty one because I think food should just be pretty. Yeah. Not enough oil there. Yeah. Okay. Down you go. And I'm going to add that. And then, if you have watched us before, you know that there are always mushrooms in whatever I cook, and I don't know why, but I just really like mushrooms. So today's going to be no different. And I'm going to put mushrooms in our scramble. And, oh, why the heck not? One more. Why not?
Because you can never have enough mushrooms.
That's right. So we got 4 mushrooms here. Stir this up. Okay, and remember when you add the mushrooms, you're going to act like little sponges and soak up all that olive oil. So you got to watch that these don't burn. And this is where I start tossing in butter. A little bit. Let that cook down, and I think we're ready to flip these. Ooh, don't those smell yummy?
Yep, smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision. Oh, perfect. I hate splattery. Like that. And we're going to turn that way down now, because we want that still hot and yummy by the time we get everything cooked and all of that. And then we're going to add a little salt to this. Just a little bit. And this is a zucchini. I love to toss vegetables in to anything that we cook or that I cook, because I just don't think we eat enough vegetables. So any way that I can squeeze a veggie in somewhere, I try to do. And so I'm just going to cut it into little bite-sized pieces like that. Toss that in here too. And then I'll put tomatoes on top at the very end, but I am going to add, and these are pre-cooked so we don't have to get those in there right now. I have leftover shrimp and crab, and we might as well toss it in with our omelet. Anything leftover, like if you had leftover chicken, you could toss it in here. If you have sandwich meat, like, you know, slices of turkey or slices of ham, anything like that is going to be fine. Crab makes a huge mess. It's one of the fun things about it, and also the not so fun. Oh, I'm going to break these crab crackers. There we go. Awesome. I love seafood.
Yes, that you do.
I do. I really do. Oh my God. God. As if the spines weren't bad enough. And I'm sure, you know, somebody out there is like, there's an easier way. And if you've got it, tell me. I'll try it for next time. Oh. Okay. All of that for that piece. Okay. Now I've got this one. Hold on. Cook. All right. And then when you're dealing with crab, you just pray to God that you don't have any shells in there. So this isn't anything that I ever do for guests, because I'm afraid they're going to end up with a shell and get grossed out and all of that. Okay, so this is going to be like one of the last things that goes in, because all it has to do is get warmed all the way through. Awesome. There's that. So what you want to look for, because I don't like, when I go in and get an omelet, because I don't have the patience to do a perfect omelet and flip it and all of that kind of stuff. I just do a scramble at home. But when I order omelets out, I don't like it where the vegetables are still cold and they're raw. Like somebody just like passed them near the food warmer and didn't even like get them on the stove to cook at all. So what I like is the veggies to be a little more done than al dente, not squishy, but I like them to be edible and not raw. So while that is just finishing up its cooking before I add our eggs, I'm gonna just dice up tomatoes to put on top because I love tomatoes.
No, you love tomatoes about as much as you love mushrooms.
I know. I could live on tomatoes and mushrooms and cheese. That's it. That would be like almost like a perfect life with fresh herbs to go with it. It's perfect. Sausage is totally good. Okay, we're gonna just leave that. It's just on warm. Okay, these are ready. And then the key to great eggs is to turn it way down. At least in my opinion. I don't like that filmy, tough, like skin stuff that it gets. I don't even know how to describe it. But eggs shouldn't be brown. They shouldn't, I don't know how to even describe it because I can't even make it. I won't make it. So because I added so many vegetables, I think we're gonna have 5 eggs in here. And I cook for 2, but we end up with leftovers all the time because I don't know how to cook for 2, I guess. A little bit of half and half. Or milk. Let that sit for a second so that you don't end up with runny egg whites. All right. And then just scramble it. And these are just going to be a darker color than what you would normally get because the veggies were browning. So we just moved into our house and I like to have a garden. And we usually save our eggshells as slug and snail deterrent. And I will begin saving those again probably in about a month for when we get ready to put in our garden. I'm turning off the pork or the sausage.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn this up a little bit. There we go. Now we're scrambling. Okay, and probably at this stage, I'm going to add one little nibble. I'm going to add the crab and the shrimp. And I'm going to add dill. We use a lot of dill in this house.
No.
We do. We're almost there. Holy Moses, that's a lot of eggs for 2 people. Okay, and off that goes. Don't go a minute too long, a second too long, or you get that yuck. I'm that person that they put the warning on every menu, you know, consuming raw or undercooked things. I won't eat a raw egg, but I might eat an undercooked one, like a soft boiled or a poached or whatever. That's me, and that's kind of how I cook too. Okay, we are ready. I have a warmed plate. We're gonna put on the eggs. Those smell good. Like so. We will put on our awesome sausage. Let's get some cheese on those eggs before they cool off too much to melt the cheese. Ooh, cover up that masterpiece. And then toss on some tomatoes. Grab a couple of pieces of way overcooked bacon. You can never have too much pork. Hey, listen, if they do it at Denny's, we can do it here. And always, always, always a little piece of fruit. And I have a delicious Pacific Northwest pear because they're in season and I have to eat them up because the whole box is going to go a little wild. There you go. There's breakfast. I don't do breakfast. This is gonna be so yummy. Look at it.
I know. You got quite the spectrum.
I know. I'm super excited. Camera.
Okay, this one is just a static roll.
My best shot.
I don't know. This is what we're gonna find out.
And I'm gonna check the bacon. Oh shoot! Well, we got really crispy bacon.
Okay.
Crap. Yeah. Yeesh. I'm gonna put it in the cold oven.
Okay.
Holy smokes. Well, maybe we should check the sausage now too. I get nervous.
Why?
I do. I just.
Oh, that's funny.
Kind
He's kidding.
I know, but I do.